All right, Nick, let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. They are in the playoffs. They're looking strong, but after a tough loss against a divisional opponent, some things were called into question about players' health and things like that. But we have a story that maybe will reassure some of the Chargers fans everything's going to be okay. Going to come into this playoff game, going to be looking better than ever. And I truly believe that, Nick. But it was a great season. Obviously, making the playoffs is a big deal. But I want the Chargers fans to take a look back for us, Nick, and tell us what was their favorite moment from last season. Let us know in the comments below what your favorite moment from last season was. But Nick, how is everything looking on the Chargers, player health front?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, right? This is a Chargers team that all season long have battled all kinds of injuries. Obviously, a number of key guys from Bosa to Slater to Mike Williams. Keenan Allen was banged up at times too. Justin Herbert played through some injuries that finally, at the end of the season, they clinched the playoffs. They were the 5 seed. Everything's going 100% their way. They're finally healthy. And then in a meaningless game against Denver, you have injuries across the board, most notably to Mike Williams. But there's good news, according to Yahoo Sports. I'm going to read from the report here. The Chargers received good news on Mike Williams' back Monday, as tests revealed he had nothing more serious than a contusion. A contusion, for people who aren't familiar with that, is a bruise. So that's good news. Seems relatively minor. After offering the update, Coach Brandon Staley said that, quote, the indication, unquote, given to him was that Williams will be available Saturday night when the Chargers play at Jacksonville in the wild card playoff round. So this is obviously huge, Miles, because Mike Williams is a dynamic big play guy. He's got the size, the length, the speed. He has the catch ability. His one-handed catch earlier this season was absolutely stupendous. He is going to be a huge part of this offense, what I think is going to be a shootout against Jacksonville. This is a huge, or this, I should say, this is fantastic news for the Chargers. I'm sure a lot of the Chargers fans seeing Mike Williams get hurt and leave the game early, and just everything seemed to turn sour. This is a great sign. It seems like he will play against Jacksonville, and the Chargers definitely need him. Miles, what do you think of this good injury news, and what kind of impact it'll have for the Chargers against the Jaguars team that's been playing really good football?
I think this is pretty huge news, Nick, because the Chargers are coming into I think it's going to be a scrappy, tough playoff game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they're going to want all of the firepower that they have on this team to come out early against the Jacksonville Jaguars and kind of like assert their offensive dominance. And that's kind of when all the pieces are aligned on this team. That's what they do, Nick. They are a very powerful offense. When you have Keenan Allen out there, when you have Mike Williams, Palmer has been very good, Eckler, Herbert, the offensive line is healthy now, but it could potentially even get healthier down the stretch. And Everett at tight end, I think this is a really strong unit, and having Williams in the lineup just really gives them that dynamic approach to the offense, Nick. So I think this is a pretty big upgrade to have Williams on the field versus not having him on the field. We've kind of seen what that is like. As you alluded to, he'd been injured a few times this season so far. So I really think this can't be understated how important it is. This is not a major injury to Williams.
Yeah, especially like when you go into a game against Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence playing the kind of football he is and the kind of weapons that Jacksonville has, a lot of young, talented team that can score a lot of points. You need all of your playmakers you need, because I think it's going to be a high scoring game, an offensive shootout. And really, this is Justin Herbert's first playoff game. It's really his first big chance to make a statement. And Justin Herbert's had, a lot of bad luck. Of course, we talked about the injuries. And I could think of nothing worse than a guy losing potentially his best wide receiver, either his best or second best, depending on how you feel about Keenan Allen going into a playoff game. So I feel really good for obviously the Chargers and Herbert. This guy is going to play. He's a big time playmaker. Herbert's better with him just because he has the ability to make those plays down the field with his size and speed. So if you're a Chargers fan, I tell you what, this is really exciting, because come Sunday afternoon, obviously the loss was disappointing, but the injuries and everything that was coming out, it looked like the wheels may be falling off a little bit. It looks like everything had come together and it was going to fall apart again. Good news is it didn't fall apart. Things look to be okay heading into Saturday.